Another Knives Sports Adventures video here. Today we are talking about a flashlight. This is the Lumintop D2. So this is a 4000K flashlight, so it's got a warmer tint. This is trying very hard to be a pocket, high CRI, kind of warm tint thrower light, which had me very excited when I saw this light, when I started to learn about this light. But ultimately it kind of left me a little disappointed. So let's kind of get into the light and see what's going on with it here. This is a 1000 lumen light. You can see it is very small. It's very pocketable. I love the size and packaging of this light. I even kind of like the beam pattern. This is a 21700 light. So despite the fact that it's a pretty small light, you can get the 21700 cell in there. It just barely fits. See, the button comes on there when you put the battery in. The user interface is kind of oversimplified. So it comes on low, medium, high. Those are your three modes, right? And then from anywhere, double click is turbo, and then you hold it to turn it off. So even from off, double click is turbo, right? Hold off. When you hold it, turn it on, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have a true moonlight mode. Even that low mode is pretty bright. So this is still going to be bright enough to affect your night vision when you are using it. Doesn't have that moonlight mode that I really like, so that limits its versatility a lot, especially for such a small light. You would think that a light this small would have something like that. Here is it next to a C8, so you can see much smaller, much more compact and pocketable light. I really wanted to like this light, but I don't. So some reviews that I do on this channel are, hey, this is a great product, everybody needs one. Some of them are, this is a good product, it might be good for you depending on how you use it. Some of them are, I really don't like this and I don't recommend it for anyone. This is really I don't like this and I don't really recommend it for anyone. And the reason for that is the beam pattern combined with the brightness level. So if I turn this on low, let's find the low mode here. So there's low. In the low mode, you can see this is a very small spot. I mean, this is like silver dollar size, $half size spot at close up. So given that the spot is so bright and the spill is so minimal, when you're using this up close, you can't really see anything because the spot is too small. The problem with the beam pattern is that as you work up through the modes and you finally get this out far enough away from you that you got a decent sized spot of light where you can see an amount of stuff that would be helpful, this just doesn't have the juice at that point, and the light gets so dim that you still can't see anything. So you can't really see stuff up close with it. You can't really see stuff far away with it. So it's just not a very good flashlight. I mean, it would be okay if you were inspecting like gun barrels or something where you had to see just that little, spot, very small area of view. But it's too focused to show you stuff close up, and it's not bright enough to show you stuff far away. When you see the beam shots, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. Quality is really good. I like the way the lanyard hole is placed. I like the fact that it's got USB-C charging. I don't have any problems with the actual construction of this light, and maybe with a different LED it would do better. But with the, I believe this is the Nichia LED in here, the 4000K, it just doesn't have the output to do what it's supposed to do. So really cool packaging, otherwise nice light. Don't really recommend it, but if you need something for some reason that has 1000 lumens and a really focused beam, then you might like this light again, but that would be a very specific usage. So let's go ahead and look at some beam shots, and you can see what this light looks like out in the real world. Alright, so let's get some Lumintop D2 beam shots here. This is my reference light. This is the older 5000K version of the Thrunite thrower headlamp. We got a tree right here at 50 yards. We've got the corner of the concrete wall right here at 40 yards. We've got the barn out there on the left at about 65. And then way back over the top there in the middle, straight up from here, there's a tree at 120. I'm not sure how well you can see that. So this is my reference light. I've changed my camera settings, as you can see, so you should be able to see that better than in previous videos. These lights aren't actually brighter, it's just I've changed my settings. So here is the Lumintop D2. So you can see on the wall there, that's a much smaller spot. That's about the size of, you know, the back of a large car or something. There's the wall at 40, tree at 50, barn at 65, and the tree out there at 120 straight up from there. So you can see it's not really any brighter than the reference light, even though this is supposed to be a thrower. But you do lose a lot of situational awareness looking around you because that spot is so small. There's the D2 close up. There's my reference light close up. Out there, the wall at the 40-50 yard mark, you can see I lose, you know, quite a bit of what I can see around that. And I don't really gain any brighter of a spot. To my eyes, you know, that's, if anything, it looks almost a little bit dimmer at distance than my reference light. So, not a huge fan of this light. I'm also going to put up my Convoy M21E here, which I'm going to do a review of as well. So this is not a thrower, and you can see out there, you can see a whole lot more. It's really even actually brighter at distance with a whole lot better situational awareness and ability to see around you than the D2. So D2 is a well-built light. I like the charging. I like the build quality. I like the size. Don't really like the beam, even though it's got a good color. So hopefully that is a useful review to you, and keep adventuring.